Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this live stream. I hope everybody is really doing well. So guys, we got a very nice bounce yesterday as we anticipated for Bitcoin. I mean, it literally went into our buy zone and then probably got a very interesting move. In fact, I mentioned that we got a local bottom for a BTC as well, and that was a really interesting thing about BTC, that it literally bounced it gave us a very good bounce actually. And I'm really happy with that. But the only problem right now that I'm watching is that the Ethereum is not bottomed actually. And why am I saying Ethereum is not bottomed? And also even the Litecoin is not bottomed. And whenever when we see such sort of a price action from Litecoin or Ethereum, when they are bearish, and even if BTC looks bullish, it literally means that even if we have started accumulating, I think this is not the time to accumulate more and more alts. So I'll talk about it in this live stream. In fact, I posted yesterday as well the levels where we should be started to accumulating or buying more and more alts actually. So we are a little bit far away from those levels for we are still a little bit far away from those levels for alts if you really want to accumulate it. So practically currently at this point what I'm watching is that even the BTC looks good over here, but I do feel that Ethereum is not looking great. So if you talk about Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen, I do think the move on and upside for ETH, in my view, how it is going to be looking like is giving us a one more sweep on the downside, go up here and then give us a very interesting bounce a little bit, and then we go down and go to my levels of 2,980 and maybe even go down to retest the trend line, the neckline that we have, and after that I'm expecting a very interesting run up on Ethereum. So why do I expect such sort of a move on Ethereum? Well, it's a very simple scenario we are talking about here, is that I think Ethereum did a very interesting, I would say 5 waves, and it was a very nice, not exactly a kind of a diagonal that you can expect, but somewhat very similar to a very interesting diagonal. And hence, I think the move that we got on Ethereum is a very clean and a narrow path towards a very interesting 5 waves impulsive move. So that was 1, that is 2, that is 3, that is 4, and that is 5. So practically if I just put it like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, ABC over here, and 5. So if we do happen to see something similar kind of a move with 3 is making higher highs, and if you see the volume is pretty much not that evident that if this is like wave 3, because normally wave 3 have to have a little bit more volume than the wave 1, but still we are seeing that wave 3 don't have that volume, and that is the only reason that this count might be a little bit probable for it to play out. And we have bottomed with a very different wave count. But in case if this count is in play, I would like to see Ethereum literally going towards and sweep the lows of 3064, taking out the liquidity. And once we take that liquidity at 3064, I would be very bullish on Ethereum, and I would like to play that long, or just buy and accumulate as much as ETH and alts at that point of time. But this is the plan 1 that we are having for Ethereum. And alternatively, we also have a bullish scenario for Ethereum. So I'm just going to save it. It's like a diagonal for ETH, which is a very valid diagonal. So for now, I'm just going to have that plan in place for ETH. So that's like a very interesting 5 waves that we anticipated for, and that's a plan 1. Alternatively, we also have plan 2 actually, which also indicates that the move that we got for ETH is a very interesting irregular expanded flat, meaning we got a move on the downside over here with wave A, we got a 5 wave impulsive move for wave B, and right now we are aiming for 5 wave move on the downside for wave C, something like this. And this was our primary plan that we discussed a few days back as well, and it's perfectly playing out so far. So maybe one more move down towards 3060 and take a liquidity under 3060, maybe go down to 2980, 1272, and then we started running up impulsively towards 3,500 or so. And why I think that we should be having that one more move on the downside. First of all, from the candle perspective, we are having a strong bearish engulfing candle on Ethereum on 1 hour time frame. Even the 2 hour time frame, we are having an engulfing candle. If you look at the 4 hours time frame, we are having an engulfing candle. So every time frame, lower term time frames, 1 hour, 2 hour, or be it 4 hour, every time frame suggests that that we are, LTF, we are bearish. So Ethereum is expected to have a move on the downside, in my view, literally, even if, it gives you 3097, but in my view, the best case would be to take a liquidity under 3052, because that's where we have weekly naked POC around 3060 and in confluence with the daily naked POC as well. So if you just look at here on the SVP chart, I'm just rolling on. So the yellow line, the orange lines are the weekly naked POC. So practically we have a strong support and a huge liquidity under 3060, where we have daily naked POC as well as weekly naked POC. And hence, that level makes us more and more sense for us to tag those levels. And from there, we will see a very interesting run up. In fact, yesterday when we literally bounced from a daily naked POC of 3117. As you can see, the red line, which we already tagged it, and after tagging it, we got a very nice move from there to $3,250. So that was in fact a very quite impressive move on it, but then we rejected it very harshly actually. So for now, I do think that there is nothing to be bullish about at this point from market perspective on altcoins as well as Ethereum, because they are not so looking good. The 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hours time frame, they are having an engulfing candles, and if you remember, engulfing candles tends to play out. So not necessarily it's like a full-fledged reversal, but definitely on the lower term time frame, I'm expecting a very volatile downside move on Ethereum. And also today we are having some sort of a news coming out for CZ probably. So I'm not sure how the market is going to react with that news of CZ being jailed for like 3 years or imprisoned for 3 years maybe, because overall CZ has, normally people consider CZ as like a god of crypto. He's like a person who promoted crypto, who brought the products into the market when nobody was even promoting or talking about. So he is having a very upper hand in building this whole entire ecosystem for people like me, you, and all of us actually. So I think I'm not sure how the market is going to react with the news of CZ being going to prison for like 3 years or so. I'm not sure, but overall I think the news don't the news don't decide where the markets are going to go. The news normally just accelerate the price action, don't make it. That's what I've been vocal about since like beginning of my career with trading since 2017. So this is the overall plan that I have for ETH, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm bearish on ETH. Now let's talk about the Bitcoin. Now, as we got a very interesting bounce and we tried to break out, but if you look at here as well on Bitcoin, you will see that we got a very nice bearish engulfing candle on 1 hour. If you look at the 2 hour candle, we got a nice pennant over here, bearish pennant or rejection. I would not consider it as like a star or something. And if you look at the 4 hour candle, the 4 hour candle on Bitcoin never had an engulfing candle. So Bitcoin is not looking that bearish. The price action for Bitcoin is looking bullish. So how should we play on Bitcoin? I feel at this point, the way we are looking the price, we have two possibilities for very much two possibilities for Bitcoin practically. So there is a trend line. We got a break of trend line. The first break was like a fake out so far with an engulfing candle rejected. So practically there is a possibility if we are losing 62,600 again, yes, we will be aiming for 61,164. But if we do happen to have a breakout and flip of 63,000, or I would say 64,000 dollars, 64,030, then I would be bullish on Bitcoin, and we will be considering this as like a complete bottom for Bitcoin. But hey, look at from the perspective of the wave count. So what kind of a wave count would that be for Bitcoin? Well, it's a very tricky wave count that we have here for overall market as well as Bitcoin. I mean, it's a very tricky wave count actually, because BTC seems to me like it's bottomed. It's clearly to me like we have bottomed for Bitcoin, and Ethereum doesn't feels to me like it's bottomed. It needs that one more push on the downside with ABC move. So on the lower term time frame, if you look at comparing both the charts for ETH as well as Bitcoin, what you'll find here is just try and compare the chart. Probably what I'm watching and what I feel over here for Bitcoin is the move that we got on ETH was clean A, B, and we got 5 wave move on an upside for wave C, after which we got a dump. Okay, and now we're accumulating for a triangle. So there are two possibilities over here for this sort of a move that we are having a triangle on 15 minutes time frame for Ethereum. So that's like a continuation pattern. So practically we are likely possibility is that we go down here, sweep the lows, go towards 3094, and maybe push it up like this for another run up move towards 3200, and then we could be having a final move or a leg down for ETH towards 2976. I mean, that's how the plan normally should play out. But along with that, I would like to see BTC being holding the levels of 1,800. So how BTC should be playing? So Bitcoin dominance is bullish in my view, as I mentioned yesterday as well. The only bullish case for Bitcoin dominance would be that we reject from the range highs. So far we haven't tested the range highs on 2 days, nor we tested the range highs on the daily time frame. And even if if you talk about the 4 hours time frame, yes, we did not tested those levels. So I am expecting a push up on Bitcoin dominance to the range highs of 55.3 to 55.36%, and only that level is going to decide whether alts are going to see their season like an alt season, or we are just going to wreck alts much more actually, because the accumulation is a little bit bullish in my view. But then we also have a very nice PO3 on on the 4 hours time frame. If you see, we have a wonderful PO3 playing out as well on Bitcoin dominance. So I would just like to see how this PO3 is going to play out. But yes, this PO3 is a very, very valid PO3 that we have on Bitcoin dominance. So hence I would like to see a little bit more downside for ETH, or maybe ETH not performing well versus Bitcoin. So that is what I would like to see. A worst case scenario would be for Ethereum is a fake out. So we go up here, run up here like a fake out to 3200, and then we have one more move on the downside for Ethereum. We might not sweep the lows of here, or we might do something like this to sweep the lows, and then it's like a shallow. You can also name it as like a shallow, and then we run it up to 3,300 because we have a print. We also have a print on an upside of $3,300 for Ethereum. So that print is telling us that yes, that will be tagged as well at some point of time in coming days. So that print is very, very valid. But I would like to see Ethereum being tagging this print after sweeping the lows of 3,097 and 3,060. That would be very interesting for ETH. So overall, I do feel right now that Bitcoin is not looking that bearish, honestly speaking, but Ethereum is looking bearish. So right now what we can play is just play the Bitcoin chart. That's all I would say, because even the USD dominance have finished its move. So it don't make sense for us to be bearish about it. I think the move is like wave 1 over here, wave A over here, wave B over here, and 1 2 3 4 5. So that's like a wave C over here. So that's a finish. So that's like an ABC for something. And after that, we got a very interesting triangle actually, and that's not like a triangle that we were talking about, but I would say this is not an irregular flat or something, or any sort of a ABC another move, but I clearly see this is like a very interesting some sort of a triangle actually over here. I see this is like a triangle actually. So practically this is like a wave A over here, wave B over here, wave C over here, wave D over here, retest, a bounce, and then we got a move on the downside for wave C, triangle like ABC, finishing its own complete move for ABC, and now we got a bounce. So practically speaking, what I'm watching right now for Bitcoin from that price action perspective, I think BTC should do something like this: retest the previous week POC, go to retest the the order block that we rejected from, come back down, go to the previous week lows around here, retest that range low of the previous week levels, and forming a very interesting, I would say, very sort of a 3-tap setup. Hold that lows, and then we run it up from there towards pump it up to previous week POC, and maybe even run it back up turbo towards $78,000. So that is the idealistic plan for Bitcoin in my view. The worst case scenario would be that we are going to see a one more dump down. This is like an alternative scenario practically, and from there we run it back turbo on an upside. The only problem is, even if you go for an alternative scenario, the yellow line that we are having over here, so even if you go to the alternative scenario, the wave counts would be very much changes, and it's just going to probably create more and more choppiness in the market. Why? Because right now, as you're watching this whole move on Bitcoin as like ABC, with the move on the downside, there will be a slight change in the wave count, would then turn this whole thing into some sort of a more choppier, irregular, expanded flat actually, which means that we might be doing a bigger pattern, which is known as some sort of a cipher, so a little bit more choppiness for few days, or maybe few weeks, pumping up to 69,000 one more time, or 65,000, and then dumping back down to sweep the lows like this. So that is going to be a little bit more choppier in my view. So something like this is then possibility actually. We go here, one more down like this, like a double bottom sort of thing, and then forming like this. So it's going to likely then probably, it's like a bigger accumulation. It's going to form then, means that it's going to do a bigger M sort of a pattern, a very nice M pattern over here, and then we run up. So it's like a very big accumulation, then it's going to form. So if yellow count plays out, we will most likely be entering into its biggest chop zone for Bitcoin. We'll be chopping between $60,000 and $66,000, and that range is likely where we're going to play a lot of scalps in between. But at this point, guys, I am holding our spot backs for Bitcoin. We got filled for 50%. I'm still aiming for one more push on the downside, so let's see. But in case if you are following the red plan, we will see how are we reacting at previous week lows and how Ethereum is reacting as well, and then I'll tell you if we are literally buying the market as well. But for now, we are just waiting for more and more data from Ethereum. I think Ethereum is likely going to see a massive dump, not like a massive dump, but a dump that will take all the liquidity that we have under $3,060. So that is what I'm anticipating for Ethereum at this point, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not much of an investor, or I have some bags got for ETH, but yes, I'm holding my FET spot bags that we bought at 1.67, having waves, having DOT, and having Bitcoin. Now these are the 4 bags that I have for now. RNDR, I bought a little very small bag, like very small bag yesterday on RNDR, and almost it is at break even right now for me. But I do think or for you guys, if you really want to buy RNDR, wait for the total crypto market cap to go to my target of 2.15 to $2.18 trillion. So we just have to wait for that levels to hit. Once we get those levels, then definitely you should be aiming for buying that day, because that level is where we are going to make a good amount of money with risk reward. So we can still anticipate 4 to 5% move on the downside for total, which means that Bitcoin dominance is bullish. So yes, definitely Ethereum and also are going to bleed, guys, in my view. So that's what I can see so far, or sense for. So we have to a little bit exercise cautious as well as patience. Do not try to build big bags on alts at this point. But yes, when we literally go to 786, 886 Fibonacci levels, there you should be building bags for alts, because that is going to give you the best risk reward, where you are going to make good amount of money. Now, I just want to remind you, despite of the fact that we are bullish overall on Bitcoin, and I'm anticipating, because why we are bullish is the reason being we bullish is because that we have schematics. We have the week off. The schematic 1 also suggests we go to $77,000, $78,000, and schematic 2 also suggests that we go for $76,000 to $78,000. So both the schematics suggest we pump up. That's the only thing, because these are the schematics based on which we played, and we were anticipating the market should go down from $73,000 towards a downside target of $59,000. So that was the only schematic due to which we were anticipating more down. If we talk about the ultra bear case scenario, that scenario is still on the table, but right now the probability is too low. And why? Because we want the USD dominance to completely have this W pattern, because when we have this W pattern formation on the USD dominance, like this, it gives us a big relief or a chance for a very interesting pump on the market for an upside of 20% to 15% minimum. And maybe even it can go and do an irregular expanded flat, maybe just sweep the lows and form a very good cipher or a shark pattern. But for now, I'm leaning for 886 Fibonacci levels, like here, that we got for 3.93 to 3.95% for USD DOM before running back turbo to 6.2%. So something overall hard term time frame, the USD dominance is bullish, guys. So we need to understand, even though low term time frame we are bullish on Bitcoin, aiming for 77, 78, that's fine. But HTF, we are very bearish, because USD dominance is bullish, and definitely it's going to go to 6.2% at some point of time in probably June or maybe May ending or June. But so basically, I think we should be very careful with the crypto. And I do think, as I mentioned, I'm going to repeat it again, that maybe Q3 beginning, July, August, September is going to be a little bit off and very tricky. A lot of sideways, a lot of choppiness is going to happen. So do not get demotivated with this market that it's done over here. No, there is always the alts, or there will always be coins where the money needs to be made. And yes, we will try our best to give those trades as well, so that we can make good amount of money. But for now, the focus is we want to catch that pump towards $77,000, $78,000. Invalidation levels for that is clearly $59,000. The coin margin contracts I am building, I've already got 1x leverage for my whole position, but I have built and computed risk considering $57,000 as a hard stop loss for my overall position. 59,000 is manual stop loss for our spot backs. If we lose it on daily, khalas, then probably we are likely going to see a doomsday dump on Bitcoin towards $40,000. It's not even 52,000. There is no levels at 52,000. There is no much support over there. So it's likely either $40,000 or either we hold $59,000, nothing in between. So even if we wick to 56,000, you don't want to see BTC closing daily under $59,000. You don't want to see that. You see that, it's going to give more boosting to the bears, and bears are literally going to kick asses for bulls. Actually, that's what something we don't want to do. We want to avoid it at all costs, ladies and gentlemen. So the plan for the Bitcoin is still same, bullish. On the lower term time frame, we have two scenarios: either the yellow one dumping down one more lows and then run it up, or a red one, a little bit push up and we go to the previous week lows, hold it up, and then we run up. So for now, I think as I mentioned, Ethereum is Ethereum is dumping, guys. As I mentioned, you see the C wave is in formation. So probably I'm expecting Ethereum to give us a little bit push up, retest, and then further down to sweep the lows and go towards 3,097, 3,060. And hence, I think this was the plan that I discussed as well over the stream, and it's perfectly nicely going. So I think ladies and gentlemen, we just have to have patience today as well. More likely, we are aiming for a downside to the minimum levels of previous week lows on the Bitcoin of 62,300. Anything under 62,300, we are aiming for $61,100 for Bitcoin, and everything else is going to tank, which is good sign, because then the overall total crypto market cap is going to give us 0.886 Fibonacci levels for a retest of 2.15 trillion to maybe even 2.14 trillion, and from there we run it back turbo towards upside. Invalidation levels for a total crypto market cap is itself a very tight. It should not go beyond or under 2.0198 trillion. Going back under 2.098 trillion would make it more and more bearish, which means that the ultra bear case scenario for Bitcoin is then going to play out. If you go under 2.098 trillion, this ultra bear case scenario is going to play out, and which is going to give Bitcoin a big and a massive dump towards $40,000. So something we have to keep in mind in case if shit happens, and if this is how the market decides to go, then that's why I'm telling each and every one of you guys, we got a good bounce from our long and we are still in profits. If you feel that you have overboarded yourself, it's still you have a chance to manage your risk and bring it down and book some gains on your Bitcoin positions, on our FET positions from 1.67. So that's what you can do at this point, guys. Okay, I'm just giving you insight. We want to make money, but we don't want to make money blindly without managing our risk, so risk is something we need to manage at all costs, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what the idea is. So I think the main idea for everything else, I mean, if you talk about the coins like FET, RNDR, INJ, talking any coin, you take it, any coin, whatever you want to buy when we literally go towards 0.886 to 0.786 Fibonacci levels. So till we are far from those levels, I think the risk of dumping to 4 or 5% on the downside is severely and high probable, versus reversing from here and running up to 2.8 to 2.9 trillion dollars. So for now, I think this is the best game for us. Patience is going to pay out. Patience is going to test us very deeply and very sharp. And in fact, if you look at from here for our ETH BTC plan as well, I mentioned clearly I'm expecting an inverse head and shoulder for ETH BTC to form as well. The max it can go to 0.04811. That's where I would like to see ETH BTC going, forming an inverse head and shoulder, retest and take out the neckline, flip it above, and we go up. The invalidation is clearly if we start losing 0.049 on H4 as well as H12, then this inverse head and shoulder is going to invalidate, and then you know the drill, then what's going to happen. So for now, I think we are bullish. This is just like a small setback over here. We are still finishing this whole move on Bitcoin. So I'm still anticipating 62.3 to give us some good reaction. If not, 62.3 is getting wrecked, not holding, then we are aiming for more downside towards 61.1, which is good sign. I will get myself fill completely for Bitcoin at that point of time. So that's how you try to get your average somewhere close to 61.4, 61.5, so that you get the best risk reward for this whole trade. Actually, you make good amount of RR with this whole pump, so that you don't have to wait for even if we don't make money in let's say Q3 beginning for like a month or so, because market is going to be very choppy with the longs, but definitely we're going to make money with shorts actually at that point of time. So I think this is the time, probably, if this is what Bitcoin plays the plan as we anticipate, make the money and we get the fuck out, take the profits, enjoy the profits for a few months, and then probably we go back in the market buying again. So the plan, I hope the plan is clear. If anybody's having confusion, any doubts, or needs any clarity, ping me or ask me over here as well. And also, a lot of people are being impatient at this point, leaving the market. As I can see, Twitter is going dead, engagements are going down. I can clearly see that people are just I don't know why. I mean, the mindset is such that everybody wants to keep on seeing the market gives green every day. I mean, that's not how it works actually. If the market just simply gives on green every day, where the hell money is going to come from? So one more thing you need to understand and look on the charts is Ibit. Ibit is very very crucial. From the this is like an what do you say, BlackRock Bitcoin shares listed on Nasdaq. Well, the plan perfectly playing out so far. We got a move on the downside as we anticipated, and also got a nice bounce. But whether this has bottomed, it needs to be seen. But yes, this flag is very very valid in my view. So either we are bottomed over here, and we should be holding up the 0.786 and 0.886 Fibonacci levels, so that we can run it up. Let me just have a proper Fibs levels over here. Yeah, so maybe we may see one more move on the downside, because we need to test the 786, 886 Fibonacci levels anywhere in between. So one more move on the downside for Ibit would be nice, after which I would like to see an Ibit pumping to $45 and then getting wrecked towards $28. We also have now Hong Kong ETF are running on. So Bitcoin and Ethereum both got their ETF approved in Hong Kong, so it's listed, it's running with a nice move. But every time we got a pump on new ETF listed, normally it dumps and then accumulates and then we pump. So normally I think this is a perfect plan. One more move down towards 786, 886 for Ibit, and then followed by a very interesting move on an upside. So I think the same plan is there. I mean, there's no changes in the plan. FET, for those of you have bought something at $2, fine, hold it, or maybe you can just book a little bit profits. I do feel that the way the price action looks to me like FET wants to sweep the lows over here. It wants to take liquidity under 2.06, meaning it wants to go down to a bigger order block that we have around 1.97 and maybe $1.9. So I think that's what FET wants at this point. It wants a little bit more down towards 1.9, maybe $1.89. That's what FET wants, ladies and gentlemen, at this point. So I think overall the market, I'm expecting it to move on the downside with Ethereum looking bearish, and I'm expecting Ethereum to sweep the lows of 3,100 and go towards 3,097. And also I would like to see Ethereum going down to 3,060 as well, so that we can fill our tag the naked POC on the daily that we have untapped naked POC, and from there we will see whether we want to reverse or not. Basically this is the strongest levels for ETH, and I'm expecting a strong bounce because we have a weekly naked POC as well as the daily naked POC. So I would like to see Ethereum doing something like this, as I mentioned, down like here, a pump up, a retest of the naked POC of 3,170, 174, reject, down like this, and forming another bullish wolf waves for Ethereum like this, and then the drill what's going to happen. So once the Ethereum also forms a bullish wolf waves, and after which I would like to see something like this for ETH. So for now we are bearish, guys. Do not try to long alts or ETH at this point. Only Bitcoin, as I mentioned. We have the limit set for Bitcoin as well. 61,000 is where now my limit is at for another 50%, and I'm simply going to wait for that 50% to hit rather than front running. Yes, we will front run only when $64,447 is flipped on a daily. Once we start closing above, the bottom is going to be in, and the market is absolutely going to be ready for another impulsive move to $78,000. Okay, so that's all for today's live stream, guys, and also congratulations to all the chart talents who were promoted, and the bot must have given you role. Another announcement is going to happen, and probably tomorrow, which is really good for the whole community. And as you are growing and a lot of new people are joining us with an anticipation and with a hope that they are going to make good amount of money with us, they will be guided properly. And yes, I can assure you, we can assure you, we are there, and we both are going to give our best. We are giving our best to help you guide how to win in this whole downtrend, and how to make the most of your net worth. Just look at yourself, guys. Even before I went on a holiday on 11th of April, I mentioned that I'm expecting a downside move to 59,000. When I was on holiday, we got that dump. After coming back from holiday, when we were pumping to 67,000, I still mentioned that I'm still anticipating Bitcoin to hit over $62,000, $61,000 levels. And we hit it. We hit it. So it's all a game of patience, you know. The more you get chopped, the more you get gonna yourself burn actually. Even we were on holiday, I gave you INJ, I gave you FET. INJ pumped 8.8%. Of course, it pumped 13%, but we booked around 8.8% gains. For INJ, FET, 45% pump. It happened with 2x leverage, 90% gains. We are holding right now as well. With the gains, actually, it's not in loss. 1.67, we caught the bottom. And DOT is a little bit underwater, but still we are good because it is way above our stop loss. And waves, yes, we are down by 2 hour, but I'm damn sure if I still think waves is going to recover and go us to our primary stop loss of 3.35 to $4, and that way we can get out and we will release our capital to put it more under some other alts actually at that point of time. But for now, I think overall we have done good in April, anticipating this whole dump, anticipating the recoveries as well from the levels, and anticipating a lot of scalps across the board actually. What are we going to do next is the April month is coming. Today we are having a month end. Basically the April month is going to end. So I think a little bit volatility, yeah, fine, expected, and it's okay for the volatility. But I do think if we just try and anticipate now, we're going to discuss more from how normally the monthly outlook looks like for the Bitcoin. So if we talk about the Bitcoin from the monthly perspective over here, so normally, as I mentioned, March is going to close green. Whatever happens, just buy the dips in the month of March. We're going to make good amount of money in the month of March, and that's exactly what we did. We made a good amount of money in the month of March as well, because we knew that the March normally closes green actually, and that's how it closed. So what should we be expecting from from the month of April, sorry, for the month of May actually? So let's try and understand. Let's try and understand from the historical price action perspective. I'm going to put it like a log chart, logarithmic chart over here. Perfect. So we're going to see a correlation between April and May. So if April is red, how was the May historically? Okay. So we're going to start from March, April. This was April was green and May was green too. And if you see here in 12 as well, or maybe not go much far, let's try and focus on 2017-18. So your March was green, April was red. So March was green, April was red, and May also was red. In the bear market, it happened. If we talk about the bounce, March was green, but then April was also green when we were in bull run, and then May was a bigger green candle. So practically in the bull run, this is how it happened. Later, when March was red, April was green, May was green. So meaning for May to be green, April will also need to be a greener, green April actually. But for now, we are seeing a red April, and we are going to close in next 15 hours. I don't see how are we going to see in next 15 hours. We'll be pumping up to close April green. So April is going to be red, which first thing we indicate is May is also going to be red overall. We are likely going to close May with red. So you just have your mindset made up. So as I say, buy in April, sell in May. We are buying in April, as you know, Bitcoin. The bounces we are anticipating in May is going to be like a wick and followed by a harsh dump on the downside, closing under $59,000 April, meaning that May and May is going to be red actually. That's what I can anticipate so far from the feeling. May is going to be red. 2020 March was green when we had a top. Then we got April was red, and May was a bigger red of 35%, after which we got an impulsive move on an upside. Interesting. Then 2022 March was green, April was red. So guys, this is the pattern, guys. When April is red, March is green, April is red, May is definitely red. So far we have seen 2022, 2021, 2020, 2018, all these things tells us March green, April red, May is definitely going to be red for sure. So the whole red candle for the whole candle for the month of May is going to be red. Even if we got a wick, fine, but I think May is going to be red. Now this is a sign of a worry and a bit of concern to me actually. Let's see what 2023 gave us. March was green, April was slightly green, and May was slightly red, which means there was an accumulation happening. But then April was green, and hence we did not got a bigger dump in the month of May. Yes, we got a dump in the month of May, but it was just like 6%. And then we started running up in the month of June. So here April was green. Now this is a bigger worry for me, ladies and gentlemen. Meaning, as you can see here, for now, what you are watching in front of your screen, that March is green, April is red. So May is definitely going to be red. May is definitely going to be red. So we just have to be very, very careful. Now, even if we are anticipating a move on an upside, market can literally go shit and can turn on ourselves. Basically, the monthly time frame also suggests that May never goes beyond or above April highs actually. You can see from this whole pattern, May never go beyond April highs. You can see every time. This is April. March green, April red in 2018. May never go beyond April highs. This is the bull run. April was green, so May was green, which is a one-off. This is another bull run scenario where March was red because of the COVID. April was green, and so May was green as well. One-off again. Bull run basically. And when bull run topped out in 2021, when March was green, April closed red. But April did sweep the highs, made another highs and closed red, and May gave a big dump of 6% to 40%. Now, if you talk about, the 2022, March was green, April was red, April did not close or swept the March highs, and May gave us a very interesting 20% dump, which is a bit of worry actually. So practically, looking to this whole thing, what we can understand is April closing red, May is going to close red, which means that May is also going to be choppy, very, very choppy. So we need to understand how things might play in the month of May, even though things look great and it's like a flag sort of structure. For now, it looks good, a flag. My plan might play out very much interestingly by, just have one more sweep of the highs. Everybody is going to expect 90K, 80K. But we will be like, fuck off. We're not going there. And we're just going to close May under 59,000. Closing it under and giving us red candle like this. A flat dump to 56,000, maybe 52,000. And maybe one going to the order block of $51,000. So something like this in line is very much anticipated, guys, and it perfectly fits our USD dominance plan, as I showed you as well on this time frame where we are anticipating a move on USD dominance, a minimum move to 6.2%, meaning it's going to give us, after we get a move on the downside like this, a pump up to 45 to 50%, means the whole market is going to tank 50-55%, especially alts maybe. But just imagine Bitcoin tanking 50% in the month of May. that is going to put everyone out of the game actually. The bears are going to kill everyone in case if this shit happens. So just a sweep of the high. So basically I would not even target 78,000, 80,000. Anything above 74,000 or 75,000, just sell and exit. That's all I would do. And just dumping down to 30% or maybe 35% bigger candle that we might expect in the month of May, and we can just probably wick down to like this to 48,000 and then close like for 35% dump. But I would say, guys, sell in May and just run away. That's what I would do. So May is a very dangerous month for crypto, and now in this dangerous month we are playing it more dangerously, and that's why I'm just even though we have a bullish plan on Bitcoin on the lower term time frame, remember our Wyckoff plan. Wyckoff is bearish, which means even Wyckoff is saying and suggesting us that a move on from 75,000 to 77,000 is going to trigger a bigger sell-off, dumping towards $61,000 with a big flush. So I would say, guys, it's like a bigger distribution pattern that's forming right now at this point. But I just need that one more push up so that we can play that pump and can make money and go out of the market actually. So let's see what market gives us. So right now we are losing the previous week lows, meaning the red plan is more likely invalidating for now, and we are going for a yellow plan taking towards 61,100, and Ethereum is likely going to go to it already swept the lows, guys. Wonderful. From this stream, as I mentioned, we are going to sweep the lows. Yes, we are sweeping it, which is a good sign. Well, give us one more down to 3,097, and then give us a relief bounce today. So we got Monday lows in for Ace, run it up to 3,178 like here, chop further down for like a bullish wolf waves for Ethereum, and then it should be good for reversal. So I think the plan is playing good, where Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin is holding the lows, Ethereum is sweeping the lows. So that's all for the today's stream, guys. I hope you love the content. If you feel at any point of time that you are feeling confused, just raise your hand, ask me any question. I'm going to clear all your doubts here itself so that we know what we are playing. Higher term time frame, we are bullish, and inside that higher term time frame, if you talk about the lower term time frame, it is there in front of your screen. Now higher term time frame, for Bitcoin here, if you look at here on the weekly chart as well, the higher term time frame, we are having two scenarios that we already discussed. First, the bull case, and the second, the bear case. So this is your bear case scenario for Bitcoin, which you guys know about it already, and something that I mean, we need to really wait for more and more confirmation for this whole bull case scenario to play out. Okay, so that's one thing with the bull case, bear case scenario. Where is my fibs actually? Yeah, that's a very nice fib. Perfect. So these are the fibs that we have. Okay, which is this fib? .382 is not happening. So this is the bear case scenario on the higher term time frame, and this is the bull case scenario. So for that bull case scenario, we really need to have $59,000. You hold 59,000, we are going running back turbo. So it's like an accumulation that's happening. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, so that's all for the today's stream, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you liked it. Just press the like button, guys, so that it can reach to more and more of people, and they can be guided properly instead of everybody screaming. Few days back when you were 73,000, a lot of people screaming AI 1 trillion 100 billion. Where are we? People did not even bother to accept my chart. When I posted 59k, I got a lot of shits comments on my Twitter. People like, you are shit. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about. We are going to 100k and we went to $59,000. I mean, you just have to play your plan, my friends. Okay, we want 100k, but do you think 100k is going to come that easily? No. That's got a lot of liquidity and a lot of other things that's going to happen in between actually. FET, if you remember, even when we were here at 2.19, I did mention one more push up towards 3.5 to 3.95, anywhere in between, we will reject. We exactly rejected the border of 3.14, where we sold. I sold personally my FET back, and then we go down. I mentioned when we were in, March, I would say even in February, I posted that we are likely going to go there, and then we're going to reject to 1.67, and everybody screamed and everybody shouted, everybody shouted at me, hey, it's not happening. Dumping from 3.5 to 1.67, it's not happening. We got filled, we got made a good amount of money, ladies and gentlemen. So I think, people don't understand. They just are so much attached to any coins actually, and just trying to sell you dreams. No, I'm not the one who's going to sell you the dreams, but I'm going to help you make that dream, achieve with the help of my talent, with the help of my charting skills actually. I'll guide you as to where you should be buying or where you should be selling. That's where you increase your net worth. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was trying to tell you since long, my friend Arbab. I was just trying to make a sense out of everything, explaining. Even though we are, bullish hard on time frame, LTF, I showed a very nice chart as well, my friend Arbab, Arslan. I mentioned very clearly that whatever the move that we are getting or expecting on an impulsive on Bitcoin towards, whatever an upside we are anticipating, it's just going to be like sell above, exit, because we are likely going to see a massive dump after that, So I would like to see, of course, May is going to be red, April is red, May is definitely going to close red, okay? But we need that pump. A pump is going to be like an exit, a dead cat bounce, FOMO, and then booyah, we're going to dump, and the dump can literally go towards 51,000, and the worst case scenario, it literally go towards $46,000 and $44,000. So that is how I think a bigger distribution pattern is taking a shape right now at this point for Bitcoin. We have to be very, very careful right now. So the May is overall bearish in my view, and just need that one more push up to exit. Now, if you remember, our target was 78 to 80,000. Now, I also mentioned on the stream, I mentioned anything above 75 or 74,000, I would say is like exit 74,000. Even if it goes to 75,500, sell off, sell all your bags, clear it off, exit. Else, whether it reaches your target or not, just exit, go into USDT mode, 100% USDT, and just wait patiently for the market to form. If we are wrong, and if May is green, if you are wrong, at least you're not going to lose money. But you get a confirmation, and we can make money, by rebuying it after confirmation. So at least we're not going to lose money, but we'll be losing a little bit of profits. Okay. So if you are wrong, with the sell-off, that if you're wrong that this sell-off is going to happen, if you're wrong that it don't happen, okay, we're not going to lose money, but we will be making a little bit less profits. That's all, because we still will be enjoying the ride to $76,000, so which is good actually. So don't worry about it, just ride and let this whole thing shape up nicely at this point. So ladies and gentlemen, I think our Ethereum plan is playing out nicely. 3090 is tagged. On this stream itself, I gave you a dump on Ethereum. I mentioned that we are likely going to dumping Ethereum from here. Very nice triangle. When we were here at 3,158, I mentioned that we are likely going to see down, sweep the lows, and go to a 3,097 from here. If you talk about the fibs, this is clearly ABC to me. So practically I'm looking for Ethereum to bottom somewhere between 1414 and 1272 Fibonacci levels. Somewhere around, these levels, practically 3076 to 3056. That is what I'm aiming for ETH. Because we got a nice impulsive move on the downside with a big volume flush. So we go here and give us another bounce like here for ETH. retesting these levels and then further down towards 3000, 2982. So basically my primary target for ETH is here, and giving us a very interesting bullish wolf for waves actually. So that's going to be a very interesting bullish wolf for waves if we get it actually, if we get it. So for now, I think this is a possibility for bullish wolf waves. Maybe some other thing might also possible. For now, this is a possibility, ladies and gentlemen. So that's all, and that's all for the plan that I have for now. Okay, last chart we can just have a look over would be comp. Comp. So I'm yet to invest or buy a bag of comp because total DeFi have lost the equilibrium levels, and also comp have lost the range highs of $71. So right now it is having a good support for comp. I would say if you want to buy, the best opportunity to buy would be equilibrium, which is around $49 to $48, which we already went. But for now, what I feel, as I mentioned previously as well, I'm anticipating comp to do something like this and give us a nice impulsive move on an upside to give us a bearish retest over here to 72, and followed by further flash dump to test the range lows is what I'm anticipating for comp now. So I think right now the bear plan is more likely on the comp. Be bull only when it flips $71. Till it is under $71, it's bearish, very bearish. So that's all what the stream. May is going to be bloody red, guys. It is going to close red. You can expect a dump anywhere from 6% to 40% in the month of May. But in that dump, we want a little bit push on Bitcoin for a push up towards 78,000, so we can get money. We can short the whole market and let it dump for 35-40%. That's what we want, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm damn confident for shorting the market. I'm gonna take my chances shorting over risking 1 hour over there, or maybe risking 1 hour probably. And I think it's going to be the good risk reward at that point of time for shorting actually. So that's all with the today's stream, guys. Be cautious. As I'm just want to tell you, those who have joined recently, buy us only and only when we go to 886 Fibonacci levels, $2.15 to $2.14 trillion. Till then, just don't press the buy button. Have patiently for ALTs and Ethereum. ALTs and Ethereum should be bought only and only at 0.886 Fibonacci levels, so as to give you the best risk reward for the whole market. Okay. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice day. Take care. And if you like the video, please press the like button, guys. Give us the boost. Press it. I mean, we are giving this content, guys, taking a lot of time to do all this charting, explaining you guys. And I want to make you guys pro and make good amount of money as well. So please just press the like button and share it with all your friends as much as you can. So thanks a lot. Have an awesome day. I'm here on Discord. If you have any queries, ask me anytime. That's all. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.